What can a Shih Tzu and a trash bag teach us about overcoming fear, trepidation, and the occasional cowardice? As it turns out, a lot. Join me as we learn this important life lesson from two unlikely sources. Let's tap back in. Recently, my wife and I spent the afternoon doing a classic dating activity. One of those timeless romantic dalliances that used to light up the silver screen in the days of old that has now been relegated to the latest movies made for Hallmark. The activity? Ripping up carpet in the basement after some recent flood damage. So, okay, romance wasn't exactly in the air this Saturday afternoon, but making things happen was. As you and I both know, adulting isn't easy, but it needs to be done. So while we were down there, we invited our dog, a young Shih Tzu who always has a spring in his step as long as you're carrying him and he doesn't have to do the walking. At any rate, he's never been in the basement, and I don't know if it's fear or ghosts or the clatter caused by the washer and dryer, but the point is, the basement, off limits. However, he did agree to come down the stairs as long as we carried him against his will. The funny thing, he really enjoyed himself when he got down there. There were plenty of new things to inspect and new smells to inhale. He was in little dog heaven. And that's lesson number one. But we'll circle back to that in a second. Just remind me in a minute or two. Anyway, he was in heaven until something new appeared. And once these objects were on the scene, he stood in the corner of the carpet stoically, with the occasional whimpering whine revealing his presence and his fear. So what was this something new that drove our dog to stand as still as possibly could, thinking that, like a T-Rex from Jurassic Park, if he stood as still as possible, these fearsome new objects would not see him and attack? Trash bags. And I won't say the name of the company of them because they haven't agreed to sponsor the site yet. But let's just say you'd be happy if you had them. Anyway, our poor little dog would not move an inch because something new had entered the picture. He wouldn't come to us, let us pet him and console him, even give him belly scratches. He was willing to give up things he loved and would probably enjoy the heck out of, all because there was something new in his line of sight. A new situation that caused him uncertainty, and that very uncertainty kept him from doing something that would have benefited him. And that's lesson number two. So back to lesson number one, and thanks for the reminder, by the way. How often does it take someone to force you to do something? Perhaps it's that first date after a long relationship ended in divorce. Maybe you're thinking of switching jobs or starting a business. Perhaps you are depressed and you don't want to spend the energy to open the front door and meet up with friends. Or maybe you want to suggest something at work, a new process or product, but can't muster up the courage to take action. These things and more happen to all of us. And if any of these have happened to you, how often has it taken a friend, family member, or coworker to push you or prod you into action? Sometimes they have literally had to take our hands and drag us, kicking and screaming, to do what we need to be happier, healthier, and wiser. And isn't it always true that we feel better for having taken action that we were forced into? Again, that's lesson one. Unlike our little dog who had to be carried into a new situation he ultimately enjoyed, make the commitment to take action moving forward. Listen to Nike and just do it, or follow the simple advice of Mel Robbins and count backwards from 5 and take action as soon as you reach 1, which is referred to as the 5-second rule. But whatever you do, don't wait for someone to force you to change. Now, let's go back to lesson number 2. How often have we, like that little Shih Tzu we just spoke about, not taken action because of the trash bags that we encounter in life? How often have we been frozen and settled for what we know because some unknown, a new job, a new love interest, a new skill, and all the uncertainty that goes with them stood in our way? We've all done this. Does making the choice to not face the unknown ever make our lives better? No! It makes us feel safer. but we never grow from choosing what we know. Take out the trash. Don't let those fears dictate your life. Leave them on the curb with the rest of the garbage and make a different choice. Choose to live. Don't let the trash bags pile up and turn what remains of our brief time on this planet into a landfill of broken dreams and lost opportunities. Take out the trash and tap back in.